How to use lines to draw a landscape. I want to ask you guys, do you often find yourself perhaps doodling or scribbling, maybe on any sort of paper or in a journal, maybe even in your homework book, maybe in a scrap piece of paper in the car, anywhere? Have you ever thought why you do that? Well, I sat down today and I asked myself, why do I enjoy doodling and scribbling? And I've realized that actually really helps me when I need to focus or concentrate on something. It relaxes me a lot. It also inspires me to be creative. And then one of the most important things, it's fun. And I don't know about you guys, but if I'm having fun, my body is healthy, my mind is healthy, my heart is healthy. And those endorphins are great. Okay. So I'm going to teach you and show you how to use lines to make a landscape. But you're thinking, why lines? Okay, why lines? Well, lines is one of the elements of art. And in drawing and painting and wanting to create drawing and paintings, we need to understand what lines are and why lines are there. Okay. So why not make an artwork? So I've got a piece of paper, okay? Get any sort of paper. If it's the paper you doodle on, go grab that quickly. Then anything to draw with, a pencil, a marker, Sharpies, crayons, paint, any sort of drawing material that you've got. Okay, that's the fun thing about making art together. So I'm going to use some colorful pastels because I love pastels and I had them right here. Okay. We are going to also learn a quick thing about landscapes. So we're going to use our page in landscape. Okay, looks like this. Then secondly, we are going to do first a few lines to create our foreground. Okay, so our foreground is the front section. Then we're going to have a third block where we call it the middle ground. Okay, we're going to create some mountains. And then you guys probably know the background. Okay, so that's also part of making a landscape. You are going to make some hills or mountains. You guys can see me. Okay, so I'm just going to make a quick scribble like this over there for my first hill. Then I'm going to add another hill over here a little bit. And then I'm going to add a little hill over here. Okay, there's my hills. I used some line making. Okay, but now we're going to learn our first actual line. And it's going to be a vertical line. So maybe you know what vertical is. So if you can see, it's going from the top down. That we call a vertical line. So cover your first hill with some vertical lines. Okay. So you're thinking, why am I using lines to color in my hill? Well, lines, again, part of creating art. It gives texture, it gives shape, it shades it. It actually makes it look more complete. Okay, so this is your first line, vertical lines. Well done. So I'm going to swap colors, okay, to do the next one. So I'm going to do the next line that you're going to learn in this block. We're going to do horizontal lines. So horizontal lines, if you can see, I'm going to do it like this. So you can see, goes from left to right or right to left. Okay. So those are horizontal lines, but look at me, they're not straight because we're drawing freehand. And you're making it your unique picture. Okay, so they're sort of just going from the one side to the other, but this way. Okay, horizontal line. And there we've just given this hill a pattern, some texture, some depth, some shading. Okay, I'm going to swap colors and I'm going to do my second hill, and that line's going to be a diagonal line. So look at me, it's going sideways. Okay, you seeing what I'm doing? Going sideways to color it in. Okay, giving it texture, giving it depth, and that's diagonal line. Now you've learned 3 lines already just to make a picture. Okay, now we're going to add the mountains for the middle ground. Okay, I'm going to get my next color. I'm going to use some blue. No, let's not use blue. Let's use green so you can see it. Okay. So this line we can call a mountain line because we're making mountains. Okay. You can also call it a triangle up and down line if you want to, because it's going to be triangles going up and down. So you can see me. Triangle up and down. And I'm sort of making one mountain range peeking out there, you can see. Then I'm going to do another mountain range at the back that's peeking out, maybe over on that side, using the triangle up and down line or mountain line. Okay, I'm swapping again. Love colors, so I love to swap and make my landscape colorful. Okay, so now I'm going to color in, give shape, give pattern, give depth to this mountain range. Okay, and I'm going to use a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th sort of line. What's this one? Who can guess? Yes, it's a twirly line. Okay, so if you want to cover it up, I just want you guys to see me. Can you see it? With some twirlies. Okay, so make some twirlies. If you first want to practice in the air, you can practice in the air with some twirlies. Okay, big and small twirlies. Okay, I'm putting them all over my mountain range. I want to make a big one there. There we go. Okay, covering it with some twirly, twirly, twirlies. There we go. Okay. Now you've learned another sort of line. We're going to do yet another one. Okay. So let's choose another color. This one. I'm going to do, so this was a spiral one. Now I'm going to do let me see, a curly one. Okay, so curly is more long, like curly hair. I don't really have curly hair. Maybe you've got some curly hair. I'm trying to make some curly hair. There's a little curl. Okay. So I'm going to make, if you also want to practice, it's these guys, spirals that are just going long. Can you see? So I'm going to go long, like twirly hair all around my mountain range over there. So this again, as I've said, lines create pattern, texture, depth. This can also be sort of a more mountain with more trees perhaps on it, or some shrubs, because the twirliness sort of gives it that idea. So now I'm covering it up. Some twirls. You can let the twirls also go over each other. Again, there's no right or wrong. There we go. Okay, some twirlies in there. Now for the background. Okay, so I've decided to, let me choose this color maybe. Okay, to add a curved line. So a curved line, almost like a rainbow, or maybe something else that I can put in the background. Okay, perhaps the sunset or the sunrise. Okay, So that's a curved line, yet another line that you're learning about. So I'm going to make my curved line over there for my sunset. Did you see? There's my curved line for my sunset. Okay. Now to create the sun rays, I'm actually going to use yet another sort of line. We call it a dash line. I'm going to use a darker color for you guys to see. Okay. So a dash line are short little lines that make one nice long line. Okay, so let me know if you're drawing with me, if you're learning about lines and creating a landscape. Maybe you're making a different drawing using lines. I'd love to know and see. So send me a picture. Okay, so there's my dashed lines for the sun rays that I'm making. There we go, that side. Okay. My sun. Okay, it's a sunset, yes. Then we are going to do two more lines, okay? I'm going to add clouds, and we actually can call these cloud lines. We know what clouds look like, eh? Or we can call them bouncy lines. You can see the bounce I'm creating, okay? So I'm going to do a bouncy line over here. Bounce, bounce up, bounce a bit down. Okay, and now we're going to use a horizontal line to complete it. Okay, I'm going to make another one over there using my bouncy line. So bouncing, 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 bouncing. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to complete it with a horizontal line. There we go. You've just created a landscape using just all kinds of lines. Okay. And to decorate it even a bit more, I'm going to add some dots in the background because that's also a line. Okay. So I'm putting some dots. Maybe it's some rain in the background. Dots or dashes, a mixture of them. And there we go. You've created a landscape using lines. If you want to, you can color it in. So I'll show you quickly, but not my whole one. You can use a different color and softly color in over it. Okay, you can see. I'm going to color in over it a bit. You can also use some paint now if you want to color over it. Maybe you've used Sharpies or markers to create the lines, and you want to paint with watercolors or acrylics over it, go ahead, look there. Just that little bit is colored in and also looks so nice, hey? So please, everyone, share your picture if you've also made a landscape using lines. So thanks, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.